So I just want to know, y'all ready for this? The fuck is that? Seriously though, y'all ready for this? Huh? I spent my valuable time watching this movie for you, so let's talk about it! It's Drewski McGillicuddy's Seed of Chucky movie review! Hey everybody, it's Drewski McGillicuddy, and I finally sat down and I watched everybody's favorite Child's Play movie, and that's The Seed of Chucky from 2004. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't watched this movie since 2004. This movie actually made me give up on the Child's Play franchise. That's right. I've never seen The Curse of Chucky. I've never seen The Cult of Chucky, and this movie is mainly to blame. But after watching this movie for the first time since 2004, with no expectations, I gotta say, it's not as bad as I remember it. Okay? Now don't get me wrong! Don't get me wrong! Everything to do with this motherfucker right here is absolute garbage. Except for the very beginning of the movie. We open up with him having a nightmare about him terrorizing and killing this family. Okay, the dad picks up the doll and he tells his daughter, you know, we're not peasants, we don't leave our stuff laying around. And he says, I don't care if it's your birthday. She says, I didn't do it. And then all of a sudden, wham! Out of nowhere, he stabs the dad, he falls over the staircase. It's fucking beautiful. But then you get to see, actually it does show you a little glimpse of the nightmare, what Glenn looks like. And I don't know if I can find it, but if I can, whatever this design was, it wasn't terrible. But whatever this design is, who the fuck came up with this? Okay, I get it, alright? The doll is supposed to be ugly. But this is fucking ridiculous. Not only is it ugly, it's just off-putting. Like, it doesn't, I guess I get it. Maybe I don't get it. Maybe I don't understand why this doll had to be this fucking ugly, because it technically ruins the fucking movie for me, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. Not to mention the little fucking, is he or isn't he? Is she or isn't she? Glenda bullshit. Not that I have a problem with people with mental disorders, but they didn't have to shove it into this movie, because this might be where this fucking shit started, where everybody's like, oh, well, sometimes I feel like I'm not, and sometimes I don't. Well, guess what? You know, keep it to your fucking self. Okay? Okay. Anyway, that's beside the point. We're not here to talk about that. We're talking about The Seed of Chucky. And I gotta say, the other thing that kind of aggravates me about this movie, even though it's on the brink of being funny, but I'm not fucking 14 anymore, was the opening credits with the doll sperm. I guess it's doll sperm, because, you know, it's supposed to be impregnating Tiffany. But anyway. So it turns out this whole opening sequence is a nightmare that the doll is having, and, you know, the little girl says, you killed my mom and dad. And that's another thing. That's the other thing. Why the fuck is it, why did he have to be in England? Why does he have to have this stupid fucking accent? Not that I think British or English or whatever the fuck you want to call them, accents are stupid. Not all of them, okay? But this one in particular is the fucking worst. Like, what the fuck's he supposed to be, Oliver Twist? Why you got a fucking killer doll, or the spawn of a killer doll, walking around sound like Oliver Twist? Please, sir, may I have another? It's fucking retarded. And I'm sorry, alright? You know, but it's bullshit. I can't handle it. Fucking ruined the goddamn movie for me. Every time he opens his mouth, and then, when he turns into Glenda, it's even worse. And it's just like, oh my god, if I had two guns, I'd blow. Just don't worry about it, okay? But aside from that, this movie's not half bad. If they would have just either got a different design for this doll, or didn't have to have the story have him be ugly, he could have just looked like one of the original good guy dolls. Like, how fucking hard would that have been? Looked like this cute little innocent doll. But no, they had to make him ugly so that they could call him Shitface, so that he could start out as this guy's ventriloquist dummy. But anyway, eventually Glenn sees Chucky and Tiffany on the news, because in this movie, it's like, I guess, an alternate reality where these dolls are real in the real world, and they're going to make a Hollywood movie about Tiffany and Chucky, the killer dolls. And that aspect of the movie I thought was great. Even the fact that they obviously got Jennifer Tilly, because she was in the last one, and Jennifer Tilly is going to play Tiffany. Makes sense, doesn't it? They look like each other. They sound like each other. They are each other. But you see, they've modified the Chucky doll and the Tiffany doll. Now they're all hooked up to these animatronic rigs, and they eventually get woken up by Glenn, because he mails himself to Hollywood. He finds the dolls, and he has the amulet for some reason. I don't know how he ended up with the amulet, but he has the amulet, and he brings them back to life. And then that's when they realize, because they both have the Made in Japan, they realize, oh, well, this must be our son. And, you know, I can't do this anymore, people. I can't do it. So anyway, they realize they have a son, because Glenn wakes him up with the amulet. Where he got the amulet, I don't know. But yeah, that's when I watched the end of Bride of Chucky, and when Tiffany had the baby and attacked the detective, I thought, oh boy, here we go. The next movie's going to be the spawn of Chucky, and it's going to be fucking awesome. But no, they ended up calling it the seed of Chucky, and they made the spawn of Chucky a little puss that isn't scary. I don't understand what direction they were trying to go. I mean, I get it. You know, they were trying to make a, dark comedy, horror comedy, because this movie has a lot of comedy, and a lot of comedy in this movie works. But then a lot of it doesn't. And then there's Glenn, okay? I'm going to keep bringing Glenn up because Glenn just ruins the movie for me. And then when Glenn turns into Glenda, it makes it even worse. Like I said, I don't even know if I said it before, because I keep having to re-record this because people outside keep making noises and shit. But no. When Glenn turns into Glenda, it's like the worst fucking thing I've ever fucking seen in a movie ever. And it just, I hate it. I hate it. Why did this have to happen? Like, because the whole thing with Jennifer Tilly trying to sleep with Redman so she could play the Virgin Mary, I like that whole aspect of the movie. I also thought it was funny that she ends up getting pregnant with Chucky's seed, even though she never slept with Redman and she hasn't slept with anybody. And that was like part of the, what do you call it, audition process. So he was talking about, I have not laid with a man. And he's like, well, how did you get pregnant? Like, whatever, don't worry about it. But anyway, I thought that part was kind of funny. I do think it's funny when they try to give up their killing because they have a family now. But neither one of them can really give it up. There's a scene where John Waters is a paparazzi and he takes pictures of Jennifer Tilly and Redman, and Chucky doesn't like that. So he goes after John Waters and he takes Glenn with him, and Chucky goes to kill him and it doesn't work out the way he plans, and then Glenn accidentally scares John Waters. He falls into a shelf that has hydrochloric acid on it. You hear this? You hear this? This is what I gotta live next to. And the motherfucker doesn't even live there. But anyway, so yeah. Aside from the CGI at the beginning of this kill's pretty badass. And then I love the fact that, they take a family selfie together with their victim. It's cute. Except for Glenn. I don't know why that doll had to look like that. I don't know why he's wearing a purple shirt. I don't know why he has to constantly be pissing his pants. I mean, come on! Who the fuck wrote this shit? Don Mancini, you stupid motherfucker. Anyway, what was I talking about? So yeah, he pisses himself all the time now. But then, Chucky tells him, shh, this will be our little secret. Don't tell your mother. And then, turns out, she can't stop killing people because Redman, as you know, is a fucking asshole. So she kills Redman, and Glenn catches her killing Redman, and she says, oh, it's just a little slip. And the funny thing is, she did call the hotline. Oh, actually, no, before we even get to that, Yeah. She calls the recovery hotline and tells them she's going to have a slip. And I can't remember if she did that before or after. She starts calling her victims' wives. Like, she calls this guy's wife that she killed back in the 80s, and she apologizes for it and just tells her she's in recovery, and the woman breaks down into hysterics. And that scene's pretty damn funny. That's like what I'm talking about when I say, you know, that this does have some comedy that lands. But then the whole goddamn thing winds up being ruined by this fucking Glenn doll. Like, why? Because, yes, a lot of the kills in this movie are fucking really good. But then there's this Glenn doll. Even though Glenn does have probably the best kill in the movie, because towards the end, they're trying to transfer their bodies in the Red Man, but then they end up killing Red Man, so then they get Jennifer Tilly's driver, and they got him tied to the bed, and then Jennifer Tilly's assistant breaks into the house, and she's trying to save the day, and right as Chucky goes to kill her, here comes who he thinks is Tiffany, and hits her with the WD-40 or the Aquanet. Maybe it was pretty sure it was Aquanet. Got the Aquanet, the lighter, catches her on fire, she falls back over the banister, falls, breaks her neck, and burns to death. Brutal as fuck. I gotta applaud that. I'm not gonna deny that that's not one of the best kills in a fucking horror movie. But then the reveal, and this, if I can find it, is just ruined everything I just fucking watched. So, man, pretty much this movie would have been 10 times better had they got a different design, a different voice actor, or just, and that's seriously nothing against British people. I don't mind most British accents, but this one is god-awful terrible, and it ruined the movie for me, because had all my changes, like this could be like an 8 out of 10 movie, but because of Glenn, I have to knock all the fucking points off, and this movie gets what it deserves. And if you don't understand that, I'm saying the IMDb score is a worthy score for this fucking movie. I'm not going to argue with it, okay? I can't talk about this movie anymore. It frustrates the shit out of me, because Child's Play was one of my favorite fucking horror franchises as a kid. As a teenager, Bride of Chucky was one of my favorite fucking, modern horror films. And then this comes out, and it had the potential to be just as good as Bride of Chucky, if not better. And they ruined the whole fucking thing with this motherfucker right here. And it pisses me off. Let me know in the comments section if it pisses you off, because I'm sure it does. Also, like this video, even though this was a jumbled mess. I like this movie. I did the best I could, okay? So, yeah, make sure you like it. And then subscribe, and then maybe I'll get better. The more subscribers I get, the better the harder I'll try or something. Fuck you. Anyway, thank you for watching. I love you all. Have a great day.